1.4 Beyond Article 370, Fears and Futures of India's Asymmetric Federalism. Context: recently, the Supreme Court, SC, ruled that Article 370 is only a feature of asymmetric federalism, which is not the same as having internal sovereignty. More on news. Z. Fear among states with special provisions. The abrogation of Article 370 has triggered discussions about potential amendments to Article 371, causing concerns among states with special provisions about the potential elimination of their distinctive status. Z. Center's assurance. The central government has assured that it has no intention to change any part of the Constitution which gives special provisions to the North-East and other regions. Z. The SC verdict. The SC upheld the government's decision to suspend Article 370 and the bench also affirmed Ladakh's reorganization as a union territory.
On the basis of scope, Article 370, it granted special autonomy to the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir. Article 371, it contains special provisions for several states. On the basis of applicability, Article 370, it was applicable only to the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Article 371, various sub-articles are applicable to states like Maharashtra, Gujarat, Nagaland, Assam, Manipur, etc. On the basis of autonomy, Article 370. Under Article 370, Jammu and Kashmir had its own constitution and enjoyed greater autonomy compared to other states in India. Article 371. The provisions vary from each state and often provide certain special powers in matters such as governance, administration of tribal areas, and protection of local customs and traditions.
Background of special provisions for states. Z. Federal structure. Constitutionally, India's governance structure is quasi-federal. Vertical bar. While states have autonomy, the constitution tilts towards the center in certain areas. Z7 Schedule of the Constitution. It contains the union, state and concurrent lists that prescribe subjects the center and states are empowered to legislate upon. Vertical bar. For those in the concurrent list, the union law would prevail in case of a conflict between the law made by Parliament and the state legislature. Z. Inequality between states. India's plurality necessitates an arrangement for differentiated equality for states depending on various factors, ranging from fiscal, political, and administrative. Z. Provisions for SPS. Articles 371 to 371-J in Part 21 of the Constitution contain special provisions for states, SPS. Vertical bar. Originally, the Constitution did not make any special provisions for these states, and the various subsequent amendments have incorporated them. Z. Temporary provisions. All these exceptions are under a section of the Constitution titled Temporary, Transitional, and Special Provisions, which indicates that these provisions would be operable till the crisis, either secessionist sentiments or war, ceases. Vertical bar. However, none of the provisions contain an explicit expiry date. Need for special provisions for states in India. Z. Rectify historical exploitation. Special provisions are a feature of asymmetric federalism which aim to correct the historical injustices faced by some states and ensure equitable development. Vertical bar. For example, special provisions were instituted under Article 371G for Mizoram which faced historical disadvantages, particularly concerning its tribal communities. Z. Reducing socio-economic disparities. There are significant variations in the levels of development, infrastructure, and access to resources among states. Special provisions help reduce these socio-economic disparities and promote balanced regional growth. Z. Tribal populations. Many states have a substantial tribal population facing distinct challenges. Special provisions protect their rights, preserve their cultures, and promote their overall development. Vertical bar, for example, Article 371A, pertaining to Nagaland, provides specific constitutional safeguards that prevent the enforcement of laws that interfere with tribal customary practices, land ownership, and transfers unless approved by the respective state legislative assemblies. Z. Geographical challenges. Some states face unique geographical challenges such as difficult terrain, remoteness, or vulnerability to natural disasters. Challenges associated with special provisions for states in India. Z. Administrative complexity. Article 371 for Nagaland stipulates a regional council with veto power over laws applicable to a specific district. Coordinating between this council, the state government, and the central government on development projects creates a complex bureaucratic web, often delaying implementation. Z. May promote regionalism. Special statuses sow seeds of regionalism and separatism which impacts national integration. Vertical bar, for example, Mizoram, under Article 371G, has specific protections affecting land ownership and transfer, contributing to a unique regional sentiment. Article No. Subject matter. 371 Special provision with respect to the state of Maharashtra and Gujarat. 371 A special provision with respect to the state of Nagaland. 371B Special provision with respect to the state of Assam. 371C Special provision with respect to the state of Manipur. 371D Special provision with respect to the state of Andhra Pradesh. 371E Establishment of Central University in Andhra Pradesh. 371 F. Special provision with respect to the state of Sikkim. 371G Special provision with respect to the state of Mizoram. 371H Special provision with respect to the state of Arunachal Pradesh. 371-I Special provision with respect to the state of Goa. 371 Jules Special provision with respect to the state of Karnataka. 8. Z. Dependency syndrome. Over-reliance on special provisions can create a dependency syndrome, where states become accustomed to receiving special treatment. Vertical bar. This may hinder the development of self-sufficiency and entrepreneurship within those states. Z. Financial burden. Fulfilling the financial requirements of special provisions can strain the resources of both the central and state governments. It may lead to budgetary challenges and, in some cases, limit the allocation of funds for other essential services. Way forward. Z. Promote economic self-sufficiency. There is a need to shift the focus from dependency on special provisions to promoting economic self-sufficiency. Vertical bar. For this, the center needs to encourage states to develop industries, entrepreneurship, and job opportunities, reducing reliance on financial aid. Z. Promote social harmony and inclusivity. Emphasize the promotion of social harmony and inclusivity to prevent the rise in the feeling of regionalism and separatism. Vertical bar. For example, fostering a sense of national identity alongside regional identities. Z. Ensure targeted interventions. Tailor special provisions to address specific needs rather than adopting a one-size-fits-all approach. Vertical bar. Target interventions based on the unique challenges faced by each state or region, ensuring that resources are directed where they are most needed. Z. Adaptive policies. Recognize that socio-economic conditions change over time and develop policies that adapt to evolving circumstances, ensuring that special provisions remain relevant and effective in addressing contemporary challenges. By adopting a holistic and adaptive approach, India can ensure that special provisions contribute to the broader goals of national unity, economic development, and social harmony.
On the basis of definition, asymmetric federalism. It refers to a system where different constituent states within a country have distinct powers, rights, and relationships with the central government. Symmetric federalism. It is characterized by a more uniform distribution of powers and responsibilities among all constituent states. On the basis of autonomy, asymmetric federalism. Different states or regions enjoy different level of autonomy, often based on historical or socio-cultural factors. Symmetric federalism. All states or regions under the federal structure have similar constitutional provisions and powers, ensuring equal treatment in terms of governance. On the basis of provisions, certain states asymmetric federalism, certain states may have special provisions in the constitution, granting them specific powers, privileges, or exemptions from certain laws that other states follow. Symmetric federalism. Laws and regulations are typically applied uniformly across all states, and there are no special provisions or exemptions for any particular region. On the basis of distribution of power, the distribution of legislative, executive, and financial powers may not be uniform across all states, reflecting the diverse needs and circumstances of each. Symmetric federalism. The distribution of powers between the central government and state is relatively equal, with a standardized framework for governance. On the basis of applicability, symmetric federalism. It allows for asymmetric federalism. It allows for flexibility in the application of federal principles, recognizing that a one size fits all approach may not be suitable for all regions. Symmetrical federalism. It emphasizes consistency in the application of federal principles, promoting a sense of equality and uniformity among all states.